In every science classroom on Earth, you'll find the same familiar chart, the periodic table. It's the catalog of every element that forms everything we see, touch, and build. But one of those elements, number 47, is quietly slipping away from human reach. It's not some rare laboratory gas or an obscure isotope. This element once defined money itself. It shaped empires and backed currencies for 5,000 years. When polished, it reflects your face like a perfect mirror. That element is silver. For years, we were taught to dismiss it. We were told silver was just gold's weaker sibling, a cheap and plentiful commodity with no real importance in the modern world. Wall Street treated it as an afterthought, flooding markets with paper contracts and pushing its price down through financial engineering. But while the banks were playing their accounting games, something far more powerful was unfolding in the background. Physics was tightening the noose. You see, silver is not just another metal. It is the most electrically conductive element known to science. It transfers heat better than gold. It resists corrosion. It kills bacteria naturally. Because of these unique properties, modern civilization has unknowingly rebuilt itself around silver. Your smartphone cannot function without it. Guided missile systems depend on it. The data centers powering artificial intelligence rely on it. And the millions of solar panels spreading across deserts and rooftops worldwide consume it relentlessly. Here's the truth almost no mainstream outlet wants to confront. Humanity is running a silver deficit. For 5 consecutive years, global consumption has exceeded global mining supply. We are not living off current production. We are draining the savings of the past. Vaults in London are thinning. Stockpiles in New York are shrinking. And the mines themselves are struggling to keep up. This isn't speculation. This is math. We are approaching a hard limit where industrial demand collides with geological reality. When that collision occurs, silver will not rise politely. It will reprice violently, and the paper system that has suppressed it for decades will fracture. Today on Finance Prism, we are exposing the mechanics behind the coming silver squeeze. We're going underground into mining geology. We're dissecting the technology boom that's consuming silver faster than it can be replaced. We're exposing the paper markets that mask physical scarcity. And we're revealing why China and India are quietly draining Western silver reserves. What you're about to hear is not theory. It's a supply chain story already in motion. To understand why silver supply can't just respond to higher prices, we must start where silver is born, deep underground. Economists love to repeat a simple mantra. If prices rise, supply increases. That logic works on paper. In geology, it fails completely. Silver is a geological anomaly. Unlike gold or copper, most silver doesn't come from mines designed to extract silver. Roughly 70% of global silver production is a byproduct. It's mined, incidentally, while extracting copper, lead, or zinc. If you operate a copper mine in Chile, your goal is copper. The silver you extract is just a bonus. If silver prices double, you don't just double your copper production to harvest more silver. Doing so would destroy your core business by flooding the copper market. This means silver supply is fundamentally inelastic. Prices can surge and supply barely moves. The remaining 30% of silver comes from primary silver mines, and they face their own crisis. Ore grades are collapsing. 2 decades ago, miners could extract over a dozen ounces of silver from a ton of rock. Today, many struggle to extract 4. That means more rock, more fuel, more water, more labor, and more capital for the same output. Inflation is crushing mining economics. At the same time, geopolitical risk is rising. Mexico and Peru, the world's 2 largest silver producers, are facing political instability, labor unrest, and growing talk of higher taxes and nationalization. New silver discoveries are incredibly rare, and even if one were found tomorrow, it would take 10 to 15 years to bring it online. Mine supply has been flat for over a decade, capped near 830 million ounces annually. So, supply is frozen. Demand, meanwhile, has entered overdrive. For most of history, silver demand came from money and photography. When digital cameras killed film, many believed silver was obsolete. They were wrong. Photography died, but something far larger replaced it. The green energy transition. Solar power cannot exist without silver. Every photovoltaic panel requires silver paste to collect electrons efficiently. For years, manufacturers reduced silver usage through engineering tricks, a process known as thrifting. But physics eventually pushed back. New high-efficiency solar technologies now require significantly more silver per panel, not less. China alone installed more solar capacity in one recent year than the entire United States had in its history. And each new panel consumes more silver than the last generation. Solar demand surged from under 200 million ounces in 2023 to well over 230 million in 2024, with projections approaching 300 million ounces annually. Solar alone now consumes more than 1/3 of global mine supply. And solar is just one drain on the system. Electric vehicles use 3 times more silver than combustion cars. 5G infrastructure requires silver-rich components. Artificial intelligence data centers rely on silver for power stability and heat management. This is mandated demand. Governments have legislated silver consumption through their energy policies. When inelastic supply meets mandatory demand, the result is a structural deficit. According to the Silver Institute, the silver market has run a physical deficit for 5 straight years. In some years, consumption exceeded supply by over 200 million ounces. That gap is being filled by above-ground inventories. Vaults are being emptied to maintain the illusion of balance. Visible stockpiles in London and New York have fallen sharply. The registered category at the COMEX, which is metal available for immediate delivery, has declined dramatically. Unlike gold, silver is consumed. Once it enters electronics, solar panels, or military hardware, it is effectively removed from circulation forever. Recycling cannot save the system. Recovering tiny amounts of silver from complex electronics is costly and slow. Recycling contributes under 200 million ounces per year and has not grown meaningfully. The gap remains. So why is silver still so cheap? Because the price you see is not a physical price. It's a paper price. Silver trades primarily on futures exchanges like the COMEX and the LBMA in London. These markets trade promises, not actual metal. For every ounce of physical silver sitting in a vault, hundreds of paper claims exist. This leverage allows banks to flood the market with synthetic supply, suppressing price movements. As long as contract holders accept cash settlement, the illusion holds. But industrial buyers cannot run their factories on paper. They need real metal. Increasingly, contract holders are demanding delivery. This is stressing the system. Metal is moving rapidly between vault categories, then leaving the system entirely. When physical inventory approaches exhaustion, paper markets fail. Prices decouple. The screens lie. Real transactions start happening off exchange at much, much higher prices. This has happened before in nickel, palladium, and other industrial metals. Silver is next. China understands this better than anyone. While Western investors chase digital assets, China has been securing control over strategic materials. They dominate rare earths, lithium, cobalt, and now they're targeting silver. Premiums on the Shanghai Gold Exchange regularly exceed Western prices, pulling metal eastward through arbitrage. Physical silver is flowing out of London and New York and into Shanghai and Mumbai. India is doing the same. Indian silver imports recently surged to record levels as citizens convert their currency into hard metal. This is a historic transfer of tangible wealth from west to east. When shortages emerge, industrial users may find themselves negotiating not with markets, but with governments that hold the metal. So how high can silver go? The key metric is the gold to silver ratio. Historically, it hovered near 15 to 1. Today, it sits near 80 to 1. Geologically, silver is far more abundant than gold, but economically, it is far more useful. A return to even the modern average ratio would imply silver prices over $60. A return to historical norms implies triple digits. And adjusted for inflation, silver's 1980 high would exceed $170 today. This repricing doesn't require a monetary collapse. It only requires continued industrial demand and physical delivery stress. So what's the strategy? Paper silver carries counterparty risk. In a crisis, contracts can be settled in cash. Physical silver removes that risk. Allocated holdings outside the banking system preserve your ownership. Mining stocks can provide leverage, but they require careful selection and awareness of jurisdiction. This will not be smooth. Banks will use volatility as a weapon. Headlines will attempt to shake your confidence, but fundamentals cannot be argued with forever. Geology is tightening. Technology is accelerating. Geopolitics is shifting reserves east. The silver squeeze is not a theory. It is already unfolding. Do not wait for headlines announcing shortages. By then, the metal will be gone and the premiums will be extreme. If this analysis helped you see past the paper illusion, subscribe to Finance Prism. We follow physical reality, not financial theater. Share this with someone who thinks value only lives on a screen. And tell us in the comments, are you stacking silver, gold, or both? Stay liquid, stay stacked, and keep watching the vaults.